What's up, guys? Today I want to cover the subject of hacking and protecting code in general. I've been making some more of these kind of talk videos where instead of just coding, I talk about my experiences in the industry of coding and things that I've noticed and believe. So they're opinionated, of course, but I think they'll give you some proper insights into things. And today, of course, is talking about how all code is honestly hackable. Nothing's fully protected ever. So as you probably know, because myself and many other creators and people who use Adobe know that piracy is a huge thing when it comes to anything related to Adobe or Adobe add-ons. It's kind of the classic pirated program was Adobe back in the day, back in the CS6 and other versions like that days. But for us as developers now, we need to do everything we can to protect our products. But I have some bad news for you, and that is that something you may have not already known, almost everything is hackable. I want to make this video today to let you know what you should and what you shouldn't expect about protecting your code. Because you might think that you're protecting your code, or you might think that someone who's working for you is guaranteed to protect your code, but ultimately all code is hackable. So I really wanted to make this video because I've had plenty of projects that I've worked on that have had good sales, had popularity, and they've already been hacked or had the protection removed from them. I should note that one of the hardest add-ons to hack are effect plugins because you're using C++ and that gets packaged into a sort of binary code that makes it much harder to hack versus JavaScript or Python or anything like that are going to be super easy to hack. But when we're talking about scripts, extensions, and UXB plugins, unlocking your code is more than possible. Even if you use JSX bin protection, obfuscators, and minifiers, everything is, again, still hackable. It might get jumbled into different numbers and stuff, but somebody can still reverse engineer, say, where your registration code is and bypass it, or put in faulty information. There's so many ways to hack things. If you just look through your own code and think of, okay, if I was to be a hacker and try and break my own code, how easy would this be, even if the names of the variables were all jumbled up? That's not to say that you should never protect your code. I think you should still use as many measures as you can to either make people not want to crack it or hack it, or just to provide that extra security and make things harder for them. And I've also made a video or two on the channel about creative ways to protect your code. I think that still applies, and you should definitely implement more than just code obfuscation. Don't just use a website which might have a reverse engineering kind of website to reverse engineer your JavaScript or JavaScript extended code. What you want to do is also create creative solutions on how to protect your code. You might use like math and other things to piece together variables and just add layers of security. Again, I've made a video on that before, but don't be discouraged from actually protecting your code and being creative yourself. Always use obfuscation and always have extra creative ways to protect the important parts of your code, whether it's registration or things like that. But also realize if someone is really talented and they're really have a lot of motivation, they can still hack your code and break through anything they want. So it's sort of just a continuous war of how creative you want to be in protecting your code versus how much people want to break all of your awesome products that you create. And yes, of course, if you have popular products, you're going to have much more people that want to break into your products occur. So that's a good sign and a bad sign, obviously. It's a good sign that you're experiencing that popularity. Smaller creators do not have the luxury of having people try to steal their work. It's mostly the popular people. But it's obviously not good for your profits. And even though I'm letting you know that pretty much everything is hackable to some degree, uh, this is more of a sign for you to spend time thinking about unique ways to protect your code. I'll give you one example. I have worked with some people who have gotten lawyers and legal stuff involved to basically deter people from breaking into their products. They've actually basically registered their products and involved lawyers with them so that if anybody tries to hack them or distribute it for free on another website, they are breaking a copyright contract and can be pursued in the court of law. And that actually has shown some level of success. There are many other implementations of security we've put into the products, but I feel like even just something like that, which is a almost creative thing, you don't see a lot of people say, hey, if you crack this, I have actual lawyers waiting for you to put this out there so I can sue you. That is, it's kind of threatening in a way, but to protect your product, that actually deters a lot of people. And of course, you don't have to spend days and days protecting every tiny line of code in your project, but ensure you spend the extra time protecting any private information, registration keys, and vital information like that. Even again, just the idea of deterring potential hackers from stealing your code might be enough to stop them from starting the process, whether it's legal threats or just an overwhelming amount of obfuscation and tricky code. And realize as you make more products and they become more popular, you are going to have to invest more time in protecting your products and deterring and creatively protecting your code. It's all about realizing that, again, anything is hackable, and you have to be aware of the fact that you can create creative implementations to protect your code, and it's also your job to deter people from hacking into your code. But again, ultimately, if someone has enough motivation and enough skill, they can probably crack some level of your program. It's difficult to sum up, but essentially there's this everlasting race between protecting your product and people trying to steal the product and then re-protecting it, etc., etc. It's sort of an arms race of code protection, but it's important to be aware that it is part of the process. Thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, hit the thumbs up button down below, hit the subscribe button, and the other links in the description will take you to some products and things that I work on. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.